On this episode of Disrupt You, we talk about the best way to get Facebook likes, why social media is more practical now than ever, and who sees content when it's boosted.
Failure's not an option, worries throw them away. My mind's made, they got nothing to say. Got you feeling like you can't go on. Don't believe the lies that they told you, be strong. I'm saying live your life for the moment and love it. Figure out your ceiling, break the mold, rise above it. Yeah.
When a Facebook post is boosted, who sees the post?
So a Facebook post boosted is different than a Facebook ad. Facebook ad is set up in the ad manager. You can get very granular on how you target it. A boosted post is a little bit different. You can target it to a custom audience that you've already set up in ad manager. You can set it to post to friends who like your page, friends who like your page and their friends. You can boost it to, or you can create a new audience when you boost the post and segment it out. So you could say, for example, a funeral home in Columbus, Ohio has an Ohio State casket and Ohio State graveside set up. They can post pictures of that on their Facebook page and boost it to people that live with 10 to 15 mile radius around their funeral home who like the Ohio State Buckeyes, like the University of Ohio State. Then Facebook will only show it to people who fall in the age demographic, the geolocation, and the interests that they targeted. So you could target somebody who likes a pre-planning website or end-of-life website. You create a post around a end-of-life planning event or a lunch and learn about pre-planning, and you can target that boosted post to people who like end-of-life care facilities and so on. So you can get granular, but you cannot get as granular as you can when you do a Facebook ad. A boosted post is more to get engagement around a specific post, where an ad can be different variables like getting clicks, getting engagement, getting shares, building brand awareness, driving purchase decisions. So if you're creating boosted content around a sympathy store item or an ad around sympathy store item, you can track the conversion. But a boosted post is slightly different than a Facebook ad. It appears as a sponsored post in the user's news feed. They do not know the difference. However, a boosted post plays off of interest, less off of the granular targeting that can happen through a Facebook ad.
What is the best way to generate page likes?
So the best way to generate page likes is going to be one, through engaging content. Like, you have to have content that is valuable, engaging, and entertains. We've talked about it before. When you have great content, running Facebook ads is the best way to get likes. You'll get likes out of some of the organic content that you're creating based off of users sharing it and a little bit of virality, and boosting that content to get engagement will garnish you some likes. But the simplest, best way to get targeted likes that are valuable for your funeral home is to run specifically targeted, very granular Facebook ads at the demographic and user you exactly want to target.
Why does social media make more sense now than ever?
Besides the fact that over 2 billion people a month engage on Facebook, it's very, very practical, specifically in the death care space, because in a recent survey put out by NFDA, a consumer survey they did, 18% of people only shopped one funeral home when making a funeral decision. So what that means is, if a consumer is engaging with your funeral home through social media, the likelihood that they're going to call another funeral home or shop another funeral home when they're in an at-need situation or ready to pre-plan is slim to none, because only 18% of consumers are shopping more than one funeral home when making a buying decision. So building the relationship through engaging content with as much of your community as possible makes social media so much more valuable now, because we know through data that consumers are only more than likely going to one funeral home before they make a buying decision. All right, that ends this episode of Disrupt You. If you have questions, please email them to us, send them to us through Facebook Messenger, tweet them, however you want to get a hold of us, get us your questions. Until next time, keep disrupting.
Away, my mind's made, they got nothing to say. Got you feeling like you can't go on. Don't believe the lies that they told you, be strong. I'm saying live your life for the moment and love it. Figure out your ceiling, break the mold, rise above it. Yeah.